JFD, just fair and direct.
Okay, hello and good morning everyone. Welcome to JFD Traders Espresso with me, Darius Anucauskas. Today's the 23rd of July 2021. So yep, welcome everyone. Welcome to this Friday's morning session where we're going to have a very quick look at the markets, a few of the charts, the usual stuff. But before we do that, as always, let's quickly have a read through our risk disclaimer. So, the content we produce does not constitute investment advice or investment recommendation, should not be considered as such, and does not in any way constitute an invitation to acquire any financial instrument or product. I'll give you a few seconds to read the rest and we can continue. Okay, so now then, also just before we jump into the charts, as always, quick mentioning of our JFD YouTube channel, to which you can always subscribe to in order not to miss any of our upcoming videos, and of course our JFD Bank website and specifically our JFD research page, which we also update on a daily basis. So yep, check us out here on jfdbank.com and click on the research tab right there on the top, guys. So now then, jumping into the charts, the first one I want to pick up here is Shanghai Composite. Nikkei, I'm not touching that one because it's closed. And it will reopen on Monday. But looking at the Shanghai Composite, you can see that the idea that I've mentioned didn't really kind of work out. So I mean, have to admit these things, unfortunately. But yep, we did push higher. We did push initially above that 3,567 territory, about the midpoint of this little range that we're currently sitting in. Today, this morning, we saw a bit of a decline here, a move back down, but the 21-day EMA managed to provide support. So at least some sort of positivity right here. However, again, we'll be very careful here. If we do see a reversal and a push back above the 3,567 territory, then yes, we could maybe consider maybe a move towards this upper side of the range. But at the moment, guys, I mean, I would say we'll take a bit of a neutral stand here and just continue observing the price action, because again, it's a little bit tricky one here, because it might drift back down here, and if it does, the lower side of the range could get tested. But again, let's wait and see. Let's see how all this is going to play out. But again, for now it's still there is a bit of positivity here for the index, because it's still trading above the 21-day EMA. But let's see how this is going to end in around 50 minutes time, because again, the index is still open, yeah, it might stay like this for, of course, for the week. It will close this way, and if we take a look at actually the weekly candle here, you'll see that although we have drifted lower, still there is the candle is still in positive territory, which, like I said, kind of helps some of the buyers. But like I said, let's wait and see. Probably this one is we're gonna leave this one for next week now. Now jumping into the German index, DAX, and yesterday the index drifted lower. Closed, well, it's still closed in positive territory because it managed to gap here to the upside, but it then drifted back down. Now if we take a look at the cash index, we'll see where it's currently sitting at. It's sitting at near the 15,555 territory. So basically it's still above this hurdle, the one that I talked about, and it's above yesterday's close. Now it's not far from that. And actually, I think it's also slightly fractionally above the 21-day EMA. So yeah, let's see how this is going to play out. For now, I'm leaning a little bit more towards the upside on this one, and because what I said to you in the previous days, that if we climb and stay above this 15,450, 126 territory, then yep, we could consider a move higher here. But so at the moment we're going slowly, step by step on this one. The IBEX 35. Now this one's interesting, and yesterday it found resistance near this downside line taken from the high of the 15th of June. The Spanish index, it seems to be willing to travel higher. However, in its situation, in its case here, it would need to overcome this downside line first and then push through some of these EMAs first before we could maybe aim for slightly higher levels. But again, as I mentioned to you previously as well, that for me to get a little bit more comfortable with the upside, I would like to see a push through this 88.22 level right here, so 8,822 level, and if we clear that, then yep, we may see some higher levels. Now, of course, if this downside line continues to provide resistance, then certainly a bit of a decline here could be possible. However, I would now prefer to wait for a drop below this little area right here, this 8,426 zone, and at the same time, if we drop below this 200-day EMA and we fall below this 8,426 territory marked by the lowest point of April, that's where it could become a little bit more interesting for a few more sellers, guys. But this area right here will be something of a neutral one for me. Nasdaq 100 now, good performance yesterday, pushed higher, closed near the 14,940 territory, and if we take a look at the cash index right now, we'll see that the price is very, very close to that psychological 15,000 mark, and yeah, so we're keeping a close eye on that one, and we're also, of course, keeping an eye on that 15,002 territory here, which is the current all-time high. But again, let's see how this is going to play out. For now, everything's looking quite positive here for Nasdaq, and in a way, it could continue pushing north, guys. So it's a very interesting day. But something that I've mentioned before, and I will mention this again, keep your eyes on not only on the, let's say if we break this barrier, this 15,002 territory, of course, keep your eyes on a new all-time high, but also keep your eyes on the daily candle and where it's going to end today, because if it's by any chance, if it falls back, it goes for a new all-time high, but then at the end of the day, it falls back below the previous all-time high. Now, this could be a worrying sign, because we have seen this happening in the past, and then the index kind of goes for a bit of a corrective move lower. So, but again, like I said, the criteria has to be met first, and for that, I mean, like I said, we need to see, let's say, a creation of a new all-time high, but the daily candle would need to drift back below this 15,000 territory. DXY, the dollar index, so still holding on to this upside line, and look at this beautiful test yesterday, this upside line taken from the low of the 25th of June. I spoke about this line yesterday in my morning video, and I have drawn this one, and this is where we have found support from where we rebounded and made our way back above the 92.85 territory, and we're currently sitting above it. So this kind of gives a bit of hope here for the buyers. So let's see how this is going to play out, of course, but at the moment, guys, everything's looking quite interesting, and I'm leaning slightly towards the upside here, but again, let's keep an eye on this 92.85 territory. If by any chance the index starts reversing back below it and stays below it, then maybe a bit of another corrective move here to the downside could be possible. What I need here for further declines, to see further declines, I would need to see a break of this upside line and maybe then a drop below the 21-day EMA. Now jumping into gold, and gold is stuck. So it continues to flirt with this 1792 territory, and this is what I said to you previously when I said that this is the level that I need to see a break off in order to go for the downside. But as you can see, we keep flirting with this area, and we keep getting those rebounds. However, the commodity is still struggling to push back above all of its EMAs. Now, of course, that creates this kind of difficult environment here. It's a no man's game, but we're patiently waiting for a violation of one of the levels, And then yes, we could consider the next kind of short-term directional move. So if we do push above this 13, 14 level, this is where this is when the commodity would be placed back above all of its EMAs, and potentially more buyers could join in. But if it drops somewhere below the 1792 territory, now yep, it may open the door towards lower levels. Now jumping into silver very quickly, and yeah. For now, I mean, looking at this picture, you can see that the commodity is finding resistance near this 200-day EMA. I've mentioned this this week, and I said to you that we may see that corrective move back up, where if the 200-day EMA provides a good hold up, we might see another slide. And this kind of movement right now is coming in line with the whole kind of DXY trying to make its way higher again. So if it does make its way higher, then we might see silver drifting back to the downside, guys. Now jumping into oil, so WTI oil stayed above that 70.79 territory and also managed to stay above the 21-day EMA, shown as the yellow line, and yep, all this creates a bit more positive atmosphere here, and yes, we could see some higher levels being met. But again, let's see how all this is going to play out. For now, like I said, I'm leaning a little bit more towards the upside, especially if the price continues to trade somewhere above that 21-day EMA, or at least above the 70.79 territory. If it starts falling below it, well, I mean, maybe we could see a bit of a decline here again. Bitcoin, so the cryptos are trying to recover. Certainly the kind of the attractiveness was increased after Musk's comments in regards to Bitcoin, that he's willing to most likely he will be accepting Bitcoins again for payments, but again, first due diligence has to be done. But yep, let's see if that's gonna be enough to kind of push the crypto world higher. Now looking at this specific picture, we can see that the crypto is getting a hold up currently near this near that 21-day EMA, together with this short-term downside resistance line taken from the high of the 29th of June, and if it continues to do so, then well, the downside scenario is not off the table. However, if we break this downside line and we push somewhere above this 34,655 territory, then yep, we could start aiming maybe for that. Or actually even better, not only that level, let me just quickly redraw this a little bit here. So if we push above this 33,200 zone marked by the high of the 15th of July, that's where, yep, we could start slowly aiming for the upside, and then yeah, we'll take it from there, guys. Now jumping into AUD/CHF. Now looking at this picture here, you can see that after we found that strong support near that 0.6735 territory here, the pair reversed higher, and now it's trying to. It seems like it's trying to make its way higher. However, it's kind of finding resistance near this little hurdle here, the low of the 8th of July. And that of course doesn't really kind of give much positivity here, although we could see maybe this one actually correcting a little bit more towards the upside. However, I would like to see a stronger push back above this 0.678182 territory right here in order to go for some higher levels. So let's keep that in mind. And for now, looking at this picture, I would, like I said, I would prefer to wait for a better move above this hurdle, and then yes, we could go for a larger correction to the upside, because don't forget that we're still trading below this downside line taken from the high of the 18th of March. USD JPY, so yep, here you can see the pair is pushing higher. It's trying to make its way north here again. We managed to break on Wednesday we managed to break this downside line, so that's great news for the bulls. Then yesterday we saw a bit of a corrective move here lower. However, this downside line acted as a good support area, and from which the pair started moving up again. And in a way, if you want to be a little bit more on the cautious side, and let's say for today you want to consider a potential level, then keep your eyes on the current highest point of this week, which is which is at 110.39 zone. And if we clear that, this will confirm a forthcoming higher high, and potentially more buyers could join in. Now, the US dollar against the South African rand. Now, this is what I looked at recently, guys, and basically due to the situation in South Africa, I mean, we could see the South African rand kind of depreciating against some of its major counterparts, including US dollar, especially if US dollar also pushes a little bit higher. Then, yep, we could see this pair pushing further north here, and especially if it also climbs above this 14.79 territory, and at the same time, if it climbs above this level, then it would be placed back above the 200-day EMA here, and well, to be honest, back above. I mean, it hasn't been there since October 2020. So if we climb above this, then this could be an interesting point here for this pair, and we could see higher levels being met here, and one of my next targets here could be this one right here, the high of the 26th of March near the 15.09 level, approximately around here, and then we'll take it from there. For the downside, of course, we need to see a break of this short-term tentative upside line, well, actually not very tentative, but a short-term upside line, and a drop somewhere below all of these EMAs here, the 21-day and the 100-day EMA, and then, yep, we could consider a move to the downside. Now, GBP USD very quickly. So I talked about this one yesterday and this week as well. So the pair continues to, let's say, or I wouldn't say continues actually. It pushed higher after reversing from this, after we reached our target, the 1.3567. I spoke about this level in the beginning of this week, and we managed to reach that and rebound from that. And yesterday I said that if we climb above the 1.3732 territory here, my next target is the upside line here, which could get tested from underneath, and we managed to get that. Now the big question for me here is, can this upside line, let's say, act as a resistance area? If it can, another slide here could be possible, and also, like I said, especially if the US dollar makes its way higher. However, if it doesn't, then, well, we could maybe even see the pair climbing back above this upside line, and yep, we'll take it from there, of course. But at the moment, all eyes are on this upside line. Let's see if it can, let's say, provide a hold up here for this pair. Now, euro against the Turkish lira, and also something that I'm keeping a close eye on, because again, these exotic pairs like euro, Turkish lira, USD ZAR, these kind of provide, sometimes are very technical, and they do provide very nice opportunities. So here, for example, what we have is a clear hold up near this 10.05 territory. So if we clear that level, this will confirm a forthcoming lower low, and potentially further declines could be possible. So at the moment, we're very close to this area, and we're keeping an eye on this hurdle, and if we do see a break of it, then yes, we'll aim for the further declines. Euro against the Canadian dollar, and very quickly here. So after a beautiful move here on Monday, yep, we have then tested the 1.51 territory, and look at this beautiful correction here to the downside. Now, of course, all this has to do with the price of oil stabilizing and pushing back up, and yep, we saw a nice test of this upside line taken from the low of the 5th of July. But now now for me the question is, can we see a rebound from it? Here I would say for the upside, I would like to see a push back above yesterday's high near the 1.4882 zone in order to get a little bit more comfortable with higher lows. For the downside, well, I need to see basically a strong break below this upside line, and then yes, my next target will be this low here, the low of the 14th of July near the 1.4695, or we could aim for the current lowest point of July near the 1.4606 zone. But again, like I said, first we need to see a nice good strong break below this upside line. And finally, EURUSD. So drifting lower, and yesterday, as you can see, initially it broke this downside line, but then by the end of the day it reversed back down and ended the day slightly below this 1.1772 zone. Today, this morning, we can see that the pair is still trading below that hurdle, although we had a bit of a false breakout here. But as you can see, it continues to sit below this hurdle, so that kind of raises concerns about the further, about the upside scenario. And yep, let's see if this pair can actually go a little bit lower here. And I will, like I said, for now, I will aim to the downside as long as the rate stays below that 1.1772 zone. So let's see how that's going to play out. So guys, I hope you found it useful, and I hope you found all my videos useful this week. So yep, thank you very much for joining in and watching this one till the end. I really appreciate your time, guys, I really do. So have a wonderful trading day today. Have a wonderful weekend as well. Stay safe, always have your stop loss in place, and today, of course, don't overtrade. It's Friday, so it's not, let's leave Friday and go into the weekend with positive, with positivity in you guys. So yep, for now, guys, I hope you, like I said, I hope you'll have a wonderful trading day today. Stay safe, have your stop loss in place, and everything will be fine. So have a wonderful weekend, and I'll see you on Monday. Bye bye.